She dumped me 3 days before Christmas for her spontaneous ex. I need to tell you about the time my girlfriend dumped me 3 days before Christmas and replaced me with her ex at the dinner where I was planning to propose. But that's not even the worst part. What came after makes that look like a warm-up act. I am 27 years old, project manager living in Ohio. I got my own place, a paid-off truck, stable career. Nothing flashy, but I had my life together. After watching too many relationships crash and burn, I'd basically given up on dating. Figured I'd focus on work, my Camaro restoration project, maybe get a dog. Then summer 2021 happened. My buddy throws this barbecue, and I meet Andrea, elementary school art teacher. She had this laugh that could stop traffic. I'm talking genuine, from the gut laughter that made everyone around her smile. We clicked immediately. She loved that I had real furniture instead of cinder blocks and plywood. She loved that I could plan dates more than 3 hours in advance. She loved that I actually remembered things she told me. For once, someone appreciated me being a responsible adult instead of calling it boring. Dating Andrea felt different. Real future stuff. She talked about meeting my family, moving in together. She even got excited about my Camaro restoration project. Most women I dated rolled their eyes when I mentioned spending weekends in the garage, but Andrea brought me coffee, helped me sand rust spots, wore these borrowed overalls that were 3 sizes too big. She'd sit on an overturned bucket and just talk to me while I worked. It felt easy, but here's where it gets important. Her parents loved me from day one. Her dad, Steve, retired firefighter, old school guy. The kind of man who taught me how to properly season cast iron cookware and let me help rebuild his '76 Corvette engine. Sunday afternoons in his garage became our routine. Drinking Budweiser, talking football, and power tools. The man became like a father to me. My own dad passed when I was 19, so having Steve around filled something I didn't realize was still empty. Her mom, Grace, treated me like the son she never had. She'd send me home with Tupperware containers full of leftovers. Text me random articles she thought I'd find interesting. Ask my opinion on paint colors for the living room and which lawnmower she should buy. They'd tell Andrea how lucky she was, how I was one of the good ones. Steve dropping marriage hints at every opportunity. Grace making comments about future grandchildren. I genuinely love these people. By October 2022, I was ready. $7,500 ring hidden in my sock drawer. The plan was Christmas dinner at their house. I proposed during dessert. Both families there. Everything mapped out perfectly. I even knew which knee I'd use. November rolled around, and I went full Christmas mode. Started planning early because this was our first Christmas as a serious couple heading toward engagement. Made reservations at this steakhouse Andrea mentioned once back in July. Bought a green sweater because she'd commented months ago that I looked good in that color. Planned the timing so nothing felt rushed or forced. Then I went detective mode for gifts. Grace mentioned her grandmother's china pattern once at Thanksgiving. Just mentioned it. One time, said she'd always loved that blue willow design, but most of the set got destroyed over the years. Took me 3 weeks hitting antique shops across 2 counties to track down 4 matching pieces. Serving platter, 2 dinner plates, and a gravy boat. All perfect condition. Steve casually mentioned wanting this firefighting history book during a football game. Not even to me. He was talking to Andrea about how they didn't make books like that anymore. Spent a week hunting down a first edition. Had to call 6 different rare bookstores. For Andrea, I've been saving for months for this professional art supply set she kept bookmarking on her laptop when she thought I wasn't paying attention. Prismacolor Premier. 200 colored pencils and a collection of brushes. Nearly $1,000. I wanted her to have the best. Early December, the wheels started coming off. I showed Andrea the china pieces I'd found. I was genuinely excited, laid them out on the kitchen table like buried treasure. She barely glanced up from her phone. Oh yeah, that's nice. Like I'd shown her a grocery receipt. Your mom's going to lose her mind, I said. Hum. Still scrolling Instagram. I brushed it off. Work stress. Parent-teacher conferences. Holiday programs. Teaching elementary school during December is like herding cats on candy canes. I figured she was just overwhelmed. Then she started mentioning Jensen. Old college friend, moved back to town for some startup job. At first, it was innocent. Jensen thinks I should travel more. Jensen says this town is too small for creative people. Jensen tried this new coffee place downtown. Whatever. People reconnect with old friends. But then every conversation became Jensen this, Jensen that. Jensen worked for some pretentious coffee company selling artisanal blends. The kind of guy with strong opinions about pour-over techniques. Owned more flannel than a lumberjack convention. Andrea kept talking about his creative energy, how he'd traveled to 6 countries before turning 30. Started saying things like she'd never been anywhere outside Ohio. Like that was somehow my fault. We'd been dating a year and a half. She could have mentioned wanting to travel. Something felt off. Her phone was constantly buzzing during dinner. Vague answers about her day. Going out with friends, but never specific about who or where. I'm not a jealous guy, but the pattern was obvious. December 15th, I tried confirming our Christmas reservations at the steakhouse. She hit me with maybe we should keep things flexible this year. Flexible how? Just not so structured. More spontaneous. Red flags everywhere. I figured it was holiday stress. December's rough for teachers. I was wrong. December 22nd, 3 days before Christmas. I'm in my living room wrapping gifts. Everything organized by family member. Her parents' gifts in one pile, mine in another, hers front and center. She walks in with that look. The we need to talk look. We need to talk. I'm thinking schedule adjustment. Maybe we need to leave an hour earlier for dinner. Maybe switch the gift order around. Nope. She sits down on the couch. Takes a breath. I'm bringing Jensen to Christmas dinner instead of you. Pause. The ribbon fell from my hands. What did you just say? I know this is terrible timing, but Jensen and I have been talking and, God, I don't know how to say this without sounding awful. Well, you're off to a great start. Try anyway. Things between us have felt so structured lately. Like we're following some predetermined blueprint instead of just living. With Jensen, everything feels more natural, more alive. I set down the gift I was wrapping. Ironically, it was hers. The expensive art supply set. 3 days before Christmas. After I'd been planning this for months. I know it's cruel timing, she continued, voice cracking like she was the victim here. I've been trying to find the right moment, but there never was one. You're really doing this right now. You put so much thought into everything. The gifts, the reservations, the way you remember what my family says. It should make me feel loved, but instead it makes me feel trapped. Trapped by someone caring about you. Trapped by someone planning out every moment of our future before I've decided what I want it to look like. She's tearing up now, pushing through this speech like she rehearsed it. Jensen doesn't do that. He lives in the moment. He makes me feel like I can breathe. Then she dropped the real bomb. Honestly, I saw the ring box in your drawer last week. I know what you're planning for Christmas dinner. I froze. You went through my stuff. I was looking for a phone charger, and I just saw it. She wiped her eyes. Sam, I'm only 25. Way too young to get engaged. Can you imagine how awkward it would be if I had to reject you in front of both families at dinner? I'm actually doing you a favor here. Esther de Her. A favor. Yes. Can you imagine how humiliating that would have been for both of us? This way we save face. Nobody has to watch a proposal get shot down in front of the turkey. Right. Very thoughtful of you. She's full on crying now. You're being sarcastic, but I'm genuinely trying to spare your feelings here. Jensen doesn't pressure me about the future. He just wants to enjoy what we have right now. What about the gifts? The reservations? Your family expecting me. I'll handle my family. They'll understand. And honestly, maybe this is for the best. We clearly want different things, Sam. I need someone who doesn't have our entire life mapped out on a spreadsheet. I could have fought for her. Could have pointed out she seemed perfectly happy about my planning until Captain Spontaneous showed up with his man bun and his travel stories. Could have begged. Could have asked why she was sabotaging everything we'd built. But something in me snapped. I stood up, gathered all the gifts I'd bought for her family, set them carefully on the coffee table. Give these to your parents. They deserve Christmas gifts, even if I won't be there to give them myself. She's looking at me like I'm a robot. Sam, you're making this way harder than it needs to be. No, I'm making it exactly as hard as it needs to be. I got her overnight bag from my closet. Spare clothes, toiletries. Things she'd left at my place over the past year. Handed it to her. Opened the front door. Can we at least try to stay friends? I looked at her. Really looked at her. You made your choice, Andrea. I'm not going to argue or help you feel better about screwing me over 3 days before Christmas. More crying. Not the I made a mistake kind. The frustrated, why isn't this going according to my script kind. After she left, I sat on the couch staring at the wrapped gifts for 10 minutes. Then I called my best friend Liam. I need to get out of here. Dude, what happened? You sound like someone just told you they're making another Matrix sequel. Andrea dumped me 3 days before Christmas. For Jensen, dead silence on the other end. Then, the college douchebag with the man bun who works at that pretentious coffee startup? Are you kidding me right now? 20 minutes later, I was at Liam's apartment with an overnight bag. Gaming setup ready. Cooler full of Mountain Dew. Official breakup, war room. So let me get this straight. Liam said, booting up Call of Duty. Princess Spontaneous couldn't handle dating an actual adult, so she traded you for Walmart Ryan Gosling. She said I was too structured, planned too much. Yet God forbid someone remembers her birthday and doesn't live in his mom's basement eating Hot Pockets. Did you tell her about the ring? She found it. Said she was doing me a favor by dumping me before I could propose. Liam paused the game, stared at me. Wait, what the hell? Are you serious? Her exact words. Saving me from the humiliation of a public rejection. Bro, I've heard delusional stuff in my life, but that's Hall of Fame level crazy. You just dodged a bullet the size of the Death Star. Imagine marrying someone who thinks caring about her is a character flaw. Christmas Eve was gaming and pizza rolls. Trash-talking kids online. Every time I started getting in my head about it, Liam dropped ridiculous comments that cracked me up. You know what's hilarious? He said around 2 in the morning. She's going to spend Christmas explaining to her family why you got replaced by a guy whose biggest accomplishment is probably running a juice cleanse Instagram account. Her dad's going to hate him. Steve's going to eat that hipster alive. I give it 2 hours before he asked Jensen about his 5-year plan just to watch him squirm. Christmas morning, my phone started blowing up. First, Andrea. My mom keeps asking where you are. Jensen is trying, but he doesn't understand our traditions. By evening, the tea set you got my mom made her cry. She said it's the most thoughtful gift she's ever received. Her parents texted me directly. Steve, Sam, Grace and I are furious with Andrea. You didn't deserve this. These gifts are incredible. We're heartbroken you're not here. You'll always be family to us. Grace sent a paragraph. Sweetheart, I don't understand what got into our daughter. You're family to us and always will be. This Jensen boy is rude and arrogant. We told Andrea exactly how we feel. We love you. We're so sorry. They sent pictures. Grace using the tea set. Steve reading his book. Showing Andrea exactly what she threw away. Final text that night. Andrea again. I think I might have made a mistake. Can we talk after the holidays? I read every message. Started typing responses. Deleted everything. Put my phone on airplane mode. She made her choice. 2 weeks later, she called. 11 at night on a Tuesday. Voice raw from what sounded like hours of crying. Sam, I need to talk to you. Jensen left. Okay. That's it. Just okay. What do you want me to say, Andrea? He said he was just having fun over the holidays. Didn't want anything serious. He's going back to Chicago. Her voice cracked. I threw away everything we had for someone who was just messing around. Shocking absolutely no one except you. Please don't be cruel. I'm falling apart, and you're just cold. What did you expect? You chose the guy who lives in the moment over the guy who planned ahead. Turns out living in the moment means he wasn't planning to stick around. She kept calling for weeks. Voicemails increasingly desperate. Her friends hit me up like some kind of intervention squad. Andre is really struggling. She misses you. She knows she made a mistake. She's been crying every day. Can't you at least talk to her? You're being cruel and unreasonable. Meanwhile, Liam's sending me screenshots of her Instagram. Damn, someone discovered the deep quotes section on Pinterest. Her social media became a cringe fest. Sad quotes about realizing what you had when it's gone. Pictures of her looking contemplative in coffee shops. Peak pick-me energy. By March, the call stopped. Heard through mutual friends, she moved back in with her parents. Started therapy. Good for her, honestly. Hope she figured out whatever was broken inside that made her blow up her life like that. Meanwhile, I threw myself into actually living. Photography classes on weekends. Solo trips around Ohio, hitting state parks and small towns I'd never visited. Gym more consistently. Work was going great. Turns out those project management skills that Andrea found suffocating were getting me promoted. Who knew being organized and thinking ahead were valuable traits in the real world. The real win, though, finally bought a 2018 Harley Sportster. Beat up but good bones. Spent weekends in Liam's garage, tearing it down, rebuilding it piece by piece. Started hanging with the guys more. Sports bar downtown. Pool tournaments. March Madness. Good to be around people who didn't overthink everything. That's when I met Celeste. through a hiking group. Complete opposite of Andrea in every way that mattered. Where Andrea was impulsive and flighty, Celeste was thoughtful and grounded. Where Andrea chased the next shiny adventure, Celeste appreciated building something solid. Most importantly, she actually liked the things Andrea found overwhelming. I love how you remember things, she told me on our third date. When you plan ahead like this, it makes me feel like I actually matter to you. Our first Christmas together, she was genuinely excited. I want to meet your family. You meet mine, she said while we were picking out a tree. My family does everything last minute. I've always wanted to experience someone who actually plans ahead. Are you sure? I tend to go overboard with the holidays. She laughed and kissed me. Promise me you will. We're at Target buying decorations when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Hey, it's Andrea. I know it's been a while, but I wanted to reach out. I'm doing better now. Was hoping we could talk. Maybe grab coffee. I showed Celeste a message. She read it. Do you want to respond? I thought about it for exactly 2 seconds. No, deleted it. Back to debating silver versus gold garland. Good choice, Celeste said, holding up a gold ornament. This looks better with your couch anyway. Then came the holiday party ambush. Our mutual friend Jake throws one every year. Celeste and I showed up late, feeling good. Then I saw her, Andrea, standing by the punch bowl, looking smaller than I remembered, checking her phone every 30 seconds like she was waiting for something that wasn't coming. Celeste spotted her at the same time. Is that her? Yep. Looks about as lost as expected. I was talking to Jake about work when I felt someone standing behind me. Turned around. Andrea. Forced smile. Drink clutched like a shield. Sam, I didn't know you'd be here. You look really good. Healthy. I put my arm around Celeste. Hey, Andrea. This is Celeste, my girlfriend. Celeste extended her hand. Genuine smile. I know Sam mentioned you two had history. Nice to meet you. Andrea completely ignored her hand. Looked her up and down. Right. Celeste. Like she was tasting something bitter. I've been thinking about us lately, Andrea said, voice tight, still pretending Celeste didn't exist. What we had. All those plans we made. That was a long time ago, Andrea. I moved on. But don't you miss it? The way we used to be? The way you planned everything for us? Looking directly at me. Celeste might as well have been invisible. Celeste jumped in. Sam's been amazing. He's been working with my mom on her grandmother's prime rib recipe for Christmas. Found incredible gifts for my nieces and nephews. I don't know how he keeps track of what they all love, but it's one of the things I adore about him. Andrea's face went through 5 distinct emotions. Surprise, anger, jealousy, rage, pure venom. How nice for you, she said, voice dripping fake sweetness. So easy to appreciate someone when you haven't dealt with their obsessive need to control everything yet. Give it time. Excuse me, Celeste said, stepping forward. Please, Andrea, I interrupted. Have a good night. Can we just talk privately? Without her? No. Have a good night, Andrea. You can't be serious. You're really choosing her over what we had. I already did. 13 months ago, when you made the choice for me. But I know now I made a mistake. I was young and scared and stupid. Voice getting louder. Desperate. Heads turning. You can't just replace me with some random girl. Celeste? And I started walking toward the exit. I turned back one last time. Next time you find someone who plans Christmas around you, maybe don't wait until 3 days before to tell them they're uninvited to their own proposal. She completely lost it. Are you serious right now? Screaming loud enough to stop every conversation in the room. You're just going to walk away after everything we had? The whole party went silent. Celeste squeezed my hand. We kept walking. Andrea wasn't done. She doesn't even know you like I do. She's just some rebound who'll never understand what we had. Her friends Jessica and Madison rushed over, grabbing her arms, trying to drag her toward the door. Andrea, stop. You're making a scene, Jessica hissed. I don't care. He's making a huge mistake, and everyone knows it. The rest of the party was great once the drama cleared. Made New Year's plans. Talked about summer vacations. Just enjoyed being with someone who actually wanted to be there. Fast forward to summer. Life was better than I'd imagined. The Harley restoration was complete. Liam and I had turned that beat-up Sportster into something magazine-worthy. Saturdays were for cruising Ohio backroads. Small towns. Dive bars. Just freedom. Celeste moved in around April. It was seamless. She cooked like she'd been to culinary school. Hit the gym with me. Never complained when I worked on the bike or hung out with the guys. Just smiled and said have fun, babe. Then things got weird. Andrea had apparently been stalking our social media from fake accounts for months. Celeste started getting strange messages. Enjoy it while it lasts. Some people steal happiness instead of finding their own. Andrea escalated, showed up at my work, standing in the parking lot, just staring at the building. Security had to escort her off property twice. She called my coworkers asking about me, trying to convince them I was making a mistake. She even tried Liam. Your psycho ex called me, he said. Wanted me to convince you that Celeste is wrong for you. I told her the only terrible decision you made was not blocking her number sooner, and that showing up at your job like a discount stalker wasn't helping her case. The final straw was when she started harassing Celeste online. Fake accounts commenting on our engagement photos, calling Celeste a placeholder, a rebound, her friends Jessica and Madison joining in, crying emojis. This won't last messages. Then she started leaving gifts on my porch. White roses with notes, remembering what we had. Some love never dies. Celeste was genuinely freaked out. I was too. We got a restraining order. 500 feet minimum distance from me. Celeste, my house, my job. One Friday night, late February 2024. Me, Celeste, and Liam having an epic Mario Kart tournament. Celeste was destroying us, talking trash, then pounding on my door. Sam, I know you're in there. Celeste is not better than me. You're making the biggest mistake of your life. Andrea, drunk. I reach for my phone. Liam grabbed the door intercom first. Hold up. Let me handle this. I've been waiting for this moment. He hits the intercom. Yo, Andrea, it's Liam. Remember me? Your ex's best friend who warned him about you from day one. Liam, get Sam out here now. Sam's busy being happy. Also, thanks for proving my point about you being completely unhinged. I'm not leaving until he talks to me. Cool. Cops should be here in about 5 minutes. Might want to work on your cardio unless orange jumpsuits are your thing. Police came. Arrested her. Restraining order violation. Public intoxication. Disturbing the peace. Never heard from her again directly after that. Heard through the grapevine she moved to Portland. Started fresh. Hope she figured out whatever was broken inside that made her think destroying someone else's happiness would somehow fix her own. Celeste and I are getting married this summer. I returned that old ring. Picked out one with Celeste that actually fits her style. Liam's my best man. His speech is probably going to roast my ex-girlfriend taste for 5 solid minutes and have the entire wedding cracking up. Sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's just living well. Finding someone who appreciates the same things about you that someone else called flaws. Someone who doesn't think planning ahead means you're controlling. Someone who understands that remembering details about the people you love isn't suffocating. It's just called giving a damn. I think about Andrea sometimes. Not with anger anymore. Just with this weird sense of gratitude. She showed me exactly who she was. And more importantly, she showed me what I actually deserved. Steve and Grace still text me on holidays. We grab dinner every few months. They apologized 1,000 times for their daughter. I told them they didn't need to. You can't control who your kids become. They're coming to the wedding. Grace is already crying about it, and we're still 4 months out. As for Andrea's Christmas gifts, Grace still uses that tea set every Sunday. Steve's firefighting book sits on his coffee table. He's read it cover to cover 3 times. They tell me every time we see each other how much those gifts meant, how they could tell I really saw them as people, not just as my girlfriend's parents. That's the thing Andrea never understood. It wasn't about the planning or the structure or the spreadsheets. It was about caring enough to pay attention, to remember, to show up. She wanted spontaneous. She got exactly that. Guy who was spontaneously interested, then spontaneously not. Meanwhile, I found someone who appreciates that when I say I'll be somewhere, I'm there. When I say something matters, I follow through. Yeah, she dumped me 3 days before Christmas. Replaced me with her ex at the dinner where I was planning to propose. But the worst part? The worst part was thinking for even a second that I'd done something wrong. That planning ahead and caring too much were somehow character flaws. They're not. They're exactly what the right person is looking for. And I found her.
If you enjoyed this, you'll probably like the next story too.